Hi, it's Elizabeth. Today I want to go over how to take your breathing medications. I'm going to start with a nebulizer because most people do take nebulizers. This is what it looks like. A lot of times people will tell me that they take this thing off and they just throw it away, they don't use it. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't do that, okay? This is a very important part of the nebulizer. This actually acts as a reservoir for the medication that you exhale. So you see that it has the ridges on there. When you place it on like that, when you breathe out, when you exhale, that's going back through here, and when you inhale, it's going back that way, okay? So you need to have that on to get the maximum amount of medication. Now, you have your little vial. You're gonna open it this way, squeeze it in, close it back, okay? Also, one thing that I see commonly is that people like to open the whole thing up to put the medicine in. I don't like to do that because you're just exposing it to other things that are in the air, and it's just not necessary to do. This way you have a closed system, it remains closed. You just pop it in there, okay? Now that we have it put together, I'm going to turn it on. This is going to mist probably a little bit more than yours does at home because I'm running it off of an actual oxygen tank. So when the nebulizer is going, you should see it misting just like this. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe next, there you go. You're going to want to breathe on it normally, in and out through your mouth. The only thing you want to do different is about every third breath, you're going to take a big inhale, as much as you can get in your lungs. You're going to count to 10, and then you're going to exhale. So I'll demonstrate that, okay? Then you'll breathe on it for another 3 breaths normally. Take that deep breath in, and you will just continue to do that. Okay, now, the next part about the nebulizer. Sometimes you don't have a mouthpiece. Sometimes you have a mask. Now, I will tell you that scientifically, this works better than this, okay? And that's because when this is going, it goes out everywhere. Here, I'll show you. It goes out of these holes here. So you actually will get more medicine with the mouthpiece. Although I have people tell me all the time they get more with this. So if you do happen to use the mask, it does go over your full face, but you still need to breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth, okay? This is so important because the way this medication works is that the actual nebulizer in here, it makes the mist different particle sizes. So that particle size is not made to go through your nasal passages. So if you're breathing this in through your nose, it's getting stuck in your nose. You're not getting hardly any of the medication. So you need to make sure you're breathing through your mouth and out through your mouth, okay? So that's a nebulizer in a nutshell. Remember, you can always send me a private message if you have any questions, okay? Next, we have the MDI. This also is very, very common, otherwise known as an inhaler. This is typically a rescue medication, but there are inhalers that you use like on a maintenance daily basis. The first thing that you want to make sure that you do is you want to shake it really, really well every time before you use it, okay? The next thing that you want to do is press this button and make the mist come out once before you use it every single time, okay? Now, if you have an inhaler, you really need to use this. This is a spacer or an aero chamber. What this does is it kind of takes away the part of the MDI that is hard, okay? And that is getting all of the medication into where it needs to go. A lot of times with MDIs or inhalers, the common problem is that you stick it in your mouth like that. And then when you inhale, you're getting, or when you press the button and you inhale, you're going to get a lot of the medication on the back of your tongue and the back of your throat. The purpose is to get it in your lungs. So what this does is it takes away that factor completely, okay? You just stick it in the back and get it in there. You can press it. The medicine holds, it stays in here, okay? Then you can breathe it in. Okay, now, so for the proper technique of an MDI, you need to make sure that you blow all of your air out before you take it. Then, after you push it, you're going to inhale as deeply as you can, and you are going to hold your breath for 10 seconds. Then you're going to let the air out, and then you're going to wait a couple minutes before you do your second puff, okay? This is going to give you the most out of your medication. And on that note, people do say that the MDI gives you just as much medication as a nebulizer, and that's true if it's taken correctly. If it's not taken correctly, you're not going to get as much out of this, okay? Also, if you are just really having a hard time breathing, where you're having to use all of your accessory muscles, just having a really hard time, if you have the choice between an inhaler and a nebulizer, use the nebulizer, okay? Because when you're breathing like that, it's really, really hard to have proper technique with this, okay? Now, so I'll demonstrate this exactly how I showed you. So I'm going to blow it all out first. Then I'm going to wait a minute. Now, I'm sure you heard that little whistle when I sucked it in. That actually is telling me that I am breathing in too hard or too fast, okay? And that is another thing that I love about these. So it's basically telling you, slow down. Now, also another benefit of the aero chamber is that once you take that breath in, you can take another breath in without hitting that, just to make sure you get all of the medicine. And 10 seconds and so on. You notice the second time I knew not to do it as fast or as hard, and it didn't make any noises, so that means I did it correctly. Now, I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to show you the proper way to take this if you don't have an aero chamber. As a side note, if you don't have one, you need to get one. All you have to do is ask your doctor for a prescription. Majority of pharmacies have them, and then you just keep them. They'll give you instructions on how to properly clean them, and they'll last a really long time. So I recommend you get one. You will get more medication. These things are expensive, so if for any other reason, do it to save money, okay? Put that aside. If you do not have a chamber, what you want to do is you want to keep it about 2 fingers away from your mouth. You don't want to stick it all the way in your mouth. If you do, you will get most of the medication on the back of your tongue and your back of your throat. So this is what you want to do. 2 fingers. I'm going to blow all my air out. And then I'm going to open my mouth. You get it. I'm going to hold my breath for 10 seconds. Then I'm going to blow it out. I'm going to wait for 2 minutes and repeat. MDI is done. Like I said, if you have any questions, send me a private message. I'll be happy to answer. Okay, the next common one I want to go over is called a DPI, or a dry powder inhaler. This specific one is Spiriva. Very, very, very common. So what you'll do is you'll open it with clean hands. Open this part, and as you can see, there's a little hole in there, and that's where you're going to put your capsule. You stick it in, click that down, click that once, twice won't hurt. Then you're going to use the same technique I've been going over to inhale the pill. You're still going to hold your breath for 10 seconds, let it out, and then inhale again on this just to make sure you get it all. Once you're done, open it, dump it in the trash. That's the end of that one. Next one is another dry powder inhaler. This one's called Cruise, and a lot of medications have the little dose counter on there, and I love that because then you know how many you have left. When you open this, it actually is going to change the dose because it knows you're going to take the medication. Then with this, you use the exact same technique that I've been saying. You're going to blow all of your air out, inhale it in, hold your breath for 10 seconds, let it out, repeat, okay? The next one is a little bit trickier, so I wanted to make sure I did show this one. Now, this is called a Respimat. So it comes with a little vial when you get it, and this is the inhaler. The first thing you need to do is separate the two, like this. Then the liquid is going to go in the inhaler, so you're going to push it in until you hear a click. Okay, it's in there. It'll be out just a little bit, and that's normal. I'm going to put this on. Now, what you want to remember with this is the word top, and that is for turn, open, and press. When you start using this one for the first time, every time you get a new vial of liquid that you put in here, you're going to prime it. So you're going to, before you use it, you want to point it downward and press. Turn. Now you want to press. Oh, turn till you hear a click. There we go. Press. See the mist coming out? So once you see the mist, you want to do this 3 more times before you use it, okay? So you think it's going to waste the medication. Manufacturers say no, it's not. That's how you properly use it. So when you open it, after you follow those directions, you're going to point it down and you're going to keep repeating the twist and push until you see it. Once you see the mist coming out, you do it 3 more times and then it's ready to use, okay? And now with all of these, your doctor will tell you how often to take them and when to take them. The next video that I do, I'm going to go over the most common breathing medications and tell you the proper dosages and when and how to use them. So I will get back with you all very shortly on all of that stuff. Remember to like Hagen's Cardiopulmonary Rehab, and then you can also check me out on my YouTube channel, One Breath at a Time. Thank you.